Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us at our AI 101 in the elementary classroom. We are going to be recording today's session, as I had mentioned, and it has just started recording, and it will be posted on our Pro Grow course catalog later this week so that you can go back and reference anything that we talk about today. We are asking that, if possible, to keep your camera on, but microphone muted, just to minimize any background noise, especially since we are recording. And then, as I mentioned, we also will be sharing a Google Form link in the chat. This is where you can access our Google Form to submit any questions or comments that you have based on today's presentation. And then, depending on time, I will either be able to address some of those questions at the end, or I will follow up with you via email later today or later this week. But let's get started. All righty. Good morning. My name is Hannah Hudak, and I am one of the Tech and Innovation coaches here in the district. And today we're going to be taking a look at AI 101 in the elementary classroom. So our essential learning, which is based on what you started earlier today, is taking a look at how we can leverage data to design and implement high-quality instruction that addresses the diverse learning needs of every student. And today, we are going to take a look at how we can actually utilize AI to increase teacher efficiency and create engaging content so that you can address those diverse learning needs. Right now, you are in the webinar section of your morning. So you have chosen to be in this AI 101 session first, which will go until 10:40. You will then have a 10-minute break to transition to your second webinar session, which will run from 10:50 to 11:30. Okay, so today we have a few learning objectives that we hope to accomplish by the end of this webinar. So our hope is that you will be able to define what artificial intelligence or AI is. You'll be able to promote digital citizenship and ethical use of AI in your classrooms. And then, of course, the exciting part, identifying AI tools and resources to create engaging content and increase teacher efficiency. Now, before we get started, I would be interested in seeing what our um, AI familiarity is. And so I'm going to post a quick poll for us. And if you wouldn't mind, it should pop up on your screen, just taking a moment to let me know how comfortable you are using AI tools, specifically to create engaging content and increase teacher efficiency. So not comfortable at all, not very comfortable, a little unsure, somewhat comfortable, or very comfortable. Excellent. Thank you for those quick responses. I'll share our results in just a moment. Awesome. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and see where we're at. All right, I'm going to end that poll and sharing those results now. Okay, so you can see we have quite a range. We have definitely some users that are not comfortable at all. They have not yet used AI, which is amazing. We're going to take a look at those use cases today. And then we have a good range as well as some that are not very comfortable, just not sure how to effectively use those AI tools. And then we have some participants that have used AI tools occasionally, but still learning. And so that, to me, means you are in the perfect place today. Let's go ahead and close out that poll and let's get started. So today, we are going to take a look at what is AI. We're going to take a look at some considerations for AI use, and we are going to take a look at AI tools for educators, and then you'll have a little bit of time to reflect. Starting off with what is AI? So AI is actually something that many of you are already familiar with in your daily lives. Thinking about things like Alexa, Siri, Netflix, Grammarly, Apple Watches, our smartphones. There are many AI tools already built in to many of the products that you're already using. So, with AI, there are three main types of AI that we can look at. We have the predictive AI, which is where AI is using patterns from past data to make educated guesses. This would be something like the weather app on your phones. So, a weather app is going to collect data from all the previous days of weather, and then it's going to use patterns to predict what is going to happen with the weather in the future. We also have generative AI. Generative AI is actually creating brand new things, but it's using existing data to create those new things. So it is not just guessing, it is not predicting, it's actually making something. So if you've ever gone on and asked AI to write a short story for you, or have used it to create a piece of artwork, that would be generative AI, which is using data to make something brand new. We also have our reactive AI. Reactive AI, just like it sounds, is responding or reacting to certain situations, but it is not using any memory from the past. It is not learning from past experiences. Instead, this would be something like if you were playing against a game of chess versus an AI player. They are not using past information. They are looking at the current state of the chessboard, for example, and deciding the best move based on that current moment and what information they have right in that moment, but not remembering from any past games or any past experiences. So, overall, artificial intelligence is a type of computer program that can perform tasks that typically requires human intelligence. AI learns by analyzing data, and the more data that AI has, the more accurate it's going to be at completing a task. Now, when we are using AI in our classrooms, there's a few things that we need to consider before implementing AI. The first being digital citizenship. Digital citizenship is a critical skill set for our students, especially as they navigate this ever expanding digital landscape. As AI becomes increasingly more integrated into our lives, students need to know how to balance media. They need to know how to identify their digital footprint and make those ethical decisions. They also need to know how to decide what information is biased or unbiased. The good news is that Common Sense Media has already provided teachers, many that you have probably implemented with your own classes, with these digital citizenship lessons. If you're not familiar or if you have not used them yet this year, you'll see them linked right on the right-hand side here. We have ready to teach lessons for grades K to 2, 3 to 5 as well. And then for those students that are in grades 3 to 5, code.org has actually created some of our first AI literacy lessons for students in elementary school so that those students can start to understand what AI is, how it works, how machine learning works, and how it can be used to address real world problems. A second thing we need to consider when using AI in our classrooms is so important, which is that data management, privacy, and security piece. So, when we are using AI platforms or these online tools, we want to make sure that we have data privacy agreements with them. And the way that we can do this is by using a website that we have here in our district called Site. Now, when you have a tool that you're interested in, you will actually be able to click this photo right over here if you have opened up our slides, and you are able to search any platform that you're interested in. For example, the platform we are going to talk about a little bit later today is called MagicSchool. If you were to search MagicSchool on Site, you would see that we do have a data privacy agreement with them, which means our students' private information is protected, and we can use that with our students. If you find a program or a platform that is not on Site that we do not have a data privacy agreement with, then we would want to make sure that we were not asking students to use that platform. However, You are able to reach out to our EdTech team here in Poway, and we can reach out to that platform and see if they will sign a DPA so that in the future, you could use it with your students. The final thing that we want to consider is equity and bias. So AI is going to have biased information because, again, it is just pulling from that information online, which could be outdated, it could be biased, and it can even cause it to hallucinate. Now, to try this out, we have created a teachable machine that you are going to click on in just a moment when it appears in the chat, and it will tell you, based on facial recognition, if you are an AI novice or an AI expert. So I'm going to grab our teachable machine link and I am going to paste it in the chat. It's already there if you're checking out the chat now. Once you click on that link, you will be able to see a picture of yourself, and then it will decide right underneath of your photo. There will be two bars going back and forth, and you'll be able to decide if this teachable machine is identifying you as an AI novice or an AI expert. Once you have been identified, if you could head to the chat and type in, what is this teachable machine identifying you as? An AI novice or an AI expert? I'll give us all a moment to click that link and see which one we're being identified as. All right, we have a novice, novice. Oh, a couple experts coming through. Novice, expert, expert, expert. Awesome. Excellent. So a real range of lots of experts, lots of novices. Awesome. Okay. You can keep going ahead and filling in those answers, but I'm going to start talking through a little bit about what this teachable machine is doing. And I did notice that someone said they were identified as an expert, but has never used AI in their life. And that is the perfect example of what this teachable machine is doing and why this data is biased. So teachable machines are actually something that we can create. And so what I did is I went ahead and created this teachable machine to notice that anyone that has lighter hair is being identified as an AI novice, and those with darker hair are being identified as AI experts. You could even hold up your water bottle, your phone, your hand, any object in front of the camera, and it would still identify you as an AI novice or an AI expert. It's not actually noticing anything about yourself, your character, your knowledge. It is simply looking at the pixels that I put in. Again, those lighter hair colors being AI novices, darker hair colors being AI experts. And so it is not thinking, it does not know anything about you. It is simply looking at the pixels that come from your hair color and deciding based on the data that I provided, are you a novice or an expert? So it's not necessarily that this information is right or wrong. It's just biased data that is then giving biased results. Now, that is a silly example, but it's important that as educators, we know that when we are using AI, those outputs can be biased. So it's important for us to use our judgment and to make sure that we are using AI as initial work, but we are providing that human in the loop, that final touch. We're reviewing for any biases, for accuracy, and we are going to contextualize that for our students appropriately. All righty, let's go ahead and get into our first tool that we're going to be using today. So today we have a tool called MagicSchool. And for those of you who are familiar or not, MagicSchool is a set of easy to use AI-powered tools that will help create instructional resources. They can create original content. They can help with differentiation, communication, and even more. So what you're seeing down here in this corner is just a little snapshot of what MagicSchool looks like when you first log in. There are actually over 80 different tools within Magic School. We're going to model a few today, and then I will also provide you with a list of resources so that you can explore all of the others. One tool that I love using Magic School for is help with communication. So within Magic School, there are actually three different email templates or wrappers that we have. One being a professional email writer, an email responder, where you can actually take an email you've received, and Magic School will help you to respond to that email, or an email to families. Now, one reminder here, even though Magic School has signed a DPA with us and they are protecting student privacy, it is always good to get into the habit of taking personal student details out of any AI use. So if you are going to be having an email responder, so if a family has emailed you and you would like Magic School to help with that response, when you go to copy and paste that email in, if any personal identifiable information has been used, you can always just take out that personal information and put in fillers like student's name or name of school. That way we can just be in the habit of not accidentally sharing personal student information in our different AI tools that we are using. I am going to close out of our presentation for a moment and actually take you over to Magic School. So when we first log into Magic School, again, this is our main landing page. You are able to favorite any tools that you love to use. You are able to take a look at some tools that have been recommended for you. And then, of course, as you scroll down, you can access all 80 plus tools that Magic School has created. We have some categories here to help with identifying what type of tool you're looking for. So again, communication tools, you are looking for community tools, planning tools, so tools for student support. When you click on those, it will identify specific tools that might be best for you. The one I'm going to model is that emails to families. So you can see I've already gone in and I have filled in some of the information it's asking for me. So my name, and then if we scroll down, you will see that I'm just going to kind of put in some ideas of what I would like to be included in this email to families. So I've included some upcoming events, 2 reminders, as well as a thank you, because we recently had a career day that was a success. So we want to make sure we're thanking those parents. And all I will simply need to do now is click generate. And from there, you can see that Magic School was able to take that information and create an email for you. Now, as the teacher, again, you are going to review this email. You're going to ensure it has all of the information that you wanted, and then you are going to decide, is this ready to send, or do I need to make any edits? Depending on your choices, you can either edit right here in Magic School, or you can click this copy button, paste it into your email template, and edit from there. But that is one way that we can use Magic School to help with communication and teacher efficiency. Another way that we can use Magic School is to create a choice board. Let me head back to presentation mode for a moment. Okay, so choice boards. Choice boards are a great way to provide students with choice, especially to show their understanding of a topic. So in this case, we are going to take an upcoming benchmark unit. We are going to take the skills, strategies, and essential question from benchmark. We're going to paste it into Magic School. And then we're going to take a look at some additional details about the students in our class to make sure that this choice board is going to best meet their needs. What that looks like in Magic School is this. Here we have a 3rd grade class. Again, I took a look at an upcoming benchmark unit. And you can see here that some of the skills students will need to be able to do is identifying and summarizing key events, determining a central message, determining how characters' actions influence the story, and so on. You can also see our essential question is what helps us solve problems. So in this unit, students will need to read and compare folktales from around the world in order to analyze how characters solve problems. Now, one of the most important parts with Magic School is taking a look at this additional details section. We want to make sure that we're really thinking about the students in our classrooms and the different types of learner variability so that this choice board can really meet the needs of our students. I was able to think about my class and realize I have students that prefer to work in a group. I have students that prefer to work independently. I have students who enjoy puzzles, students who are creative, students who are problem solvers, and students who prefer technology. Once I've put in all of that information, again, I'm going to click Generate. And Magic School is hard at work creating 9 different options for us based on this benchmark unit and based on the information I gave about my students. So you can see here we have things like group discussions, character diaries, puzzle makers, digital storytelling, role playing, all excellent ideas that I could then apply to this benchmark unit to give my students some choice in how they're showing their learning. However, we know that providing students with over 8 or 9 choices can be a bit overwhelming and a lot to manage for you as the teacher. So instead of providing students with all of these choices at first, what we can do is we can take these choices and create a playlist. Out of those 9 choices, I again thought about my class, thought about this unit, and I decided just to pick 2 choices this time. So our essential question is still what helps us solve problems? But this time, students are going to have these 2 options to show their learning. They could either create a storyboard where they are comparing 2 folk tales, their themes, and how the characters have overcome challenges. From here, they could use Canva to do the storyboard, or they could go the good old fashioned way using things like papers, crayons, and markers. Or they may choose to do a small group folktale role play. In this choice, they would choose to actually act out a scene from one of the folktales, again, emphasizing how the character solved problems and influenced events. In this case, they would record that final scene using Canva Studio. Now, even with just 2 choices, we know that this can still be a lot for students to work through. Another tool that Magic School is able to offer you is our assignment scaffolder. So in this case, the assignment scaffolder takes any assignment that you have and breaks it down into manageable steps so that students can work through it independently and have a greater understanding of what they're working on. You can see in this example, I was able to take that role playing scenario. I just copy and pasted it right into the assignment prompt. And once I clicked generate, Magic School was able to create 8 steps for the students so they knew exactly what to do in order to create a role play that I was looking for. This is incredibly helpful for our students that need larger assignments broken down into multi-steps. And then we could even create a checklist based on this so that the students could check off as they go. The final tool that I wanted to model for you today is our DOK questions. So, as we know, we want to make sure that we are asking students a range of questions when we are going through a topic. And one way we can do that is using Magic School. So, in this example, I simply took a 5th grade class and I thought about a topic that I would be teaching as a 5th grade teacher, which could be the American Revolution. So, you can see, depending on what information you have, in this topic, standard, or objective box, there are times where you can put in an entire Common Core standard, an entire objective, or you can just be simply putting in your topic, such as American Revolution. Again, I will click Generate. And just like that, Magic School has created 4 levels of questioning with 4 questions under each one. It will reload for us. There it is. So you can see starting off with those basic DOK level 1 questions all the way down to the DOK level 4, which really helps students begin to analyze, critique, and create. And then again, as the teacher, you can take a look at these questions and decide, Are these types of questions I was looking for? Are these going to be appropriate for my students? Or can I do some editing to make them a little bit more appropriate for my class? Now, if we take a look, we also have this is for your future Magic School exploration. But here you can see I have gone through and taken a look through Magic School, and I have linked options for creating those engaging resources, as well as options for increasing your teacher efficiency. But as we know, there is so much more in Magic School for you to explore. These are just some of my few favorites. And before we head out, we do have a little bit more time. So I wanted to show you a second AI tool that we can use. So we have Magic School for creating engaging resources and increasing teacher efficiency. But another tool that we have access to is Canva. Now, many of you may have used Canva in the past to create presentations or documents or slides for your classes, but Canva actually has an AI aspect as well that we call Canva Magic Studio. Canva Magic Studio is right here. If you click on this link, it will take you to many different AI tools that Canva offers, but I wanted to highlight three main tools today. We have the Translate tool, which will take any design that you have already created and translate it into another language. We have the Transform tool. This will again take a presentation that you have and create a summary or an outline for you. And then finally, we have Magic Write, which is where Canva can help you effortlessly and quickly create written content. For our Translate tool, I'm going to model this with a life cycle slide. So here we have some presentation I've already created. I've used this in years past when I'm teaching my class about life cycles of humans and animals. But let's say we wanted to be able to provide this to a student in another language. Right from Canva, I'm just going to open up that presentation, and I'm actually going to go over to this resize button. Once I click resize, I'm going to scroll down, and then I'll find this magic switch category. I am going to use the translate tool. So I will click translate. I will decide what language I would like to translate to. Let's say we wanted to translate to Spanish today. And then you can also decide which pages you would like translated. So you could do all pages of the slides, or there may be a few that you're interested in. I'm going to click translate, and it will take a moment to go through those slides to translate them for us. And when it's ready, it will prompt you to open presentation, which I will click now. And you will see it has gone through and translated all of those slides that I had originally typed out in English to Spanish. Again, as the teacher, you would want to review this information and make sure that it is accurate. But this is a great tool that we can use for our students and families that are coming to us speaking a second language. Another tool that we have access to is the Transform tool. Now, the Transform tool, as I said, that takes a presentation and actually creates a summary or an outline. If you were trying to summarize your presentation or create an outline for a student to give them kind of the key points, this is a great way to use this tool. I'm going to use it for today's AI 101 in the classroom. So right from this presentation, I'm going to go to that resize again, scroll on down, but instead of clicking translate, I'm going to transform these slides into a document. I have a few options here. I could create a summary, a blog post, an outline. I could even create an email based off of my slides, a poem, song lyrics. There's so many options. But I would say I would like to be able to send out an outline after this so that you knew exactly what we covered. So I'm going to create a presentation outline, and I am going to transform it into a doc. Again, it's going to take a moment to go through these for us, but in just a moment, it will pop up and we'll be able to see how Canva was able to take this presentation and turn it into an outline for us. Let's open up that doc. Whoops, one moment. Let me try that one more time. Make sure. There are times when we are in different Canva teams and it does not work for us. So let me try and switch my team and see if that helps. There we are. So you can see it was able to take these slides and create an outline. So we have our introduction, we talked about understanding AI, we talked about digital citizenships, ethical use, the AI tools of Magic School, and so on. Now, the final Canva tool I'd like to show you today is MagicWrite. MagicWrite will help you to create written content. When we first open up a doc or a slide, you will notice this MagicWrite right up in our toolbar where we could pick fonts, size, colors. And when I click on MagicWrite, it has some ideas for us. So you may want some help with brainstorming, writing a paragraph, creating a case study or a project. But what I'm going to model today, similar to our UDL choice board in Magic School, this is similar to Canva's version of that. But what I've done is I've gone into MagicWrite and I've asked MagicWrite to create 10 ideas for a culminating project for second graders who have been learning about wind and water erosion. I again included those learner variabilities in my classroom, and I will go ahead and generate. And very similar to our Magic School tool, we have 10 new ideas that students can use to show their understanding of wind and water erosion. So again, we have our students that are creative may want to do a diorama. Our students that like puzzles may want to create an erosion puzzle. Our students that are independent, they might want to go out and do an erosion field journal and do some observations. But again, you could take these ideas and put them into a playlist. Excellent. All right, now that we've gotten a chance to take a look at how we can use both Magic School and Canva Magic Studio to help with creating engaging content and increasing our teacher efficiency, what I am interested in hearing from you is what you plan to do using AI to create engaging content or increasing teacher efficiency in your classroom. This time, instead of the chat, I am actually going to share a WooClap link with you. And what you are going to be able to do is you're going to go to this WooClap and you will, let me get it displayed here. You are going to go ahead and start sharing one way that you plan to use AI to create engaging content or increase teacher efficiency in your classroom based on what you learned today. You may share one of the Magic School tools you're excited to use, one of the Canva tools. So we have someone who's going to create a choice board. Awesome. Differentiate the choice board generator, DOK questions. Starting with the email responder, I think that's an excellent idea. Parent communications, the playlist generator, that's definitely a popular one. Amazing. Yes, using the email responder to help with kind of just that wording sometimes. Sometimes we have an idea of how we would want to respond to a parent email or to a school email, but it's always nice to just kind of get an idea of a rough outline for us that we can then personalize. Excellent. Oh, the rubric writer. Yes, we can use rubrics. The report card comments are also a great way to get started with using Magic School. Again, not that we would want to just copy and paste those report card comments, but taking them again as a great starter to help with wording is hugely important. So I love that idea. We do have an IEP generator, goal generator with Magic School. The translations for our multilingual learners. Exciting, amazing. Okay, well, what I would like to do today to end our presentation is I would like to share with you just a few more resources and tools that you could access after today's training. So we do have some Magic School Tools PDFs and videos for you to watch. So we have an Intro to Magic School. Here you can access individual one-pagers that go through each Magic School tool with one page of directions. They do have a YouTube series that go over just 1-minute videos, again, about Magic School tools and ideas. We also have some self-paced TLC opportunities, both related to AI and to today's professional learning. So if you are interested in doing some more AI work in your classroom, we have two 5-point TLCs, a 1.0 as well as a 2.0. And then after today, if you are interested in watching some additional ProGrow videos, that is going to be a 5-point TLC for you to participate in as well. And then if you are interested in learning more about AI, you are always welcome to request grade level PD from me and the rest of the EdTech team. We would love to come out and work with you and your grade level on some AI implementation. And then as always, if you have additional questions, please go ahead and put them in that Google form. And I would be happy to get back to you later today or a little bit later this week to answer any questions that you may have. But that is all for me. I'll go ahead and stop sharing for a moment. And you are able to head over to your second webinar session. But thank you so much for coming today and learning about AI 101 with me. And I hope to see some amazing AI work in your classrooms. Thank you.